Hey everyone, what's up? Is the Patient Hodler coming at you with another live stream? And in this one, we are going to talk about some very pressing topics like the global situation, the Ecomi price, but also MTL, the gem squeeze as the margin drop. And if we get to it, what a collector's mind is made of. We should understand what we are investing in within the Veve app and why these collectibles are going to be so valuable. Let's see if I can get through all the content in this time without making a stream of 2 hours. So yeah, but basically that is the plan for today. I will show it again in a couple of seconds, but before we start, you know the drill. I'm a crypto and NFT investor and not a financial advisor. So please do your own research before you ape into Ecomi, the Veve collectibles, or rush to any decisions like gem cash out if you have the possibility in the beta. So a couple of people are already here. So welcome. Welcome and smash up the like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. This is a completely free form of donation and helps my channel a lot to grow. So if you like this little hangout on Sundays, please do that. And also let me know in the comments if you got a new car on on the Veve drops, if you got the ultra rare, or if you even got the secret rare, or if you even got the secret rare, the one with the low edition sizes. And let me know what you think about this. So yes, we are maybe not satisfied because we didn't get any of those cars. Let me just get some little visual up here for you, what we have today. So to recap that again in the stream, so we are looking at quickly on the global situation, what's going on. We are looking at Ecomi price action and what we could derive from charts and the overall situation. And then we are looking at quickly at the Aston Martin car drop, the burn and wallet data, and therefore we are going to use the very, very good Twitter channel of Jason Colon because he's providing all the data, so I don't have to build any Excel sheets. And then we could get in the topic why collecting. Now let's get started with the global situation. And we have hippos in the house saying at this point I'll be happy if OMI hits 0.01 end of year 2022. And yes, because that would be an insane price if we would be thrown by the current situation into a bear market, right? I mean, we're technically not in a bear market yet, but we could be thrown into a bear market in my opinion. And so yeah, I have these hopes as well at the moment. But on the other side, if we get a full year below 1 cent prices, we are not going to see so much OMI left in the reserve wallet if they continue to drops and if people continue to invest, and if the wallet or the OMI users are or the Veve users are continuing to invest in that sense in the drops and buy them all up. But let's start quickly with the overall situations, and for that I'm just going to share my screen here. Just let me get rid of all the unnecessary tabs and just go into the first one. So we all know what's going on in the situation with Ukraine, so I'm not having, or I don't have to point out all the points here, but some things are still going on. And the first one that I want to show you here is that Turkey says war exists in the Black Sea, and therefore, according to the rules they have, it allows them to close the entrance to the Black Sea that is being controlled by the Turkey or the Turkish, and allows to block Russian Navy from moving more warships into that sea, but they already have some in there. So that is basically the situation, and Turkey is a NATO partner, and Turkey is therefore actively participating in that situation. And before they didn't want to block out, but now they got to that point. So this is one development. The next development is that Ukraine agrees to talks with Russia as Putin, or said, at least that's what the New York Times reports right now, as Putin places nuclear forces on alert. So this is the first time since the Cold War that basically nuclear forces are being put in a state of alert. So this is a very, very scary situation, although I don't believe they will put these weapons to use. It's more that probably Putin needs to show a position of strength at the moment, because at least according to Western press, the war is not going according to plan, and Kiev has not fallen, and Ukraine is not conquered yet, and still resisting immensely, and the losses on the Ukraine and the Russian side, but especially the Russian side, are very high. But let me know in chat, guys, what you think is going to happen next, because there are some scenarios that either could benefit, like for example, talks with Russia and negotiations, and therefore maybe lowering of sanctions against Russia. Or do you think it's going to escalate into a full-fledged war in Europe? I don't know. I can see possibilities, but I don't see anything like that. This is certain, or this is going to happen. And then finally, last one for this current situation is that it appears that the Swedish government decided also to deliver weapons, and in the beginning, all these countries didn't want to deliver weapons. Now we have Germany delivering anti-tank missiles, Swedish also delivering anti-tank missiles, also Germany anti-air Stinger rockets, and so on and so on. So, and Netherlands is also delivering weapons. So Czech Republic is delivering rifles and equipment. So in kind of a way, a lot of NATO partners are now doing more than only establishing sanctions. And then obviously we have the blocking of the banking system, or not blocking of the banking system, but basically Russia being kicked out of the SWIFT system. So it appears that there are now bigger problems for accessing money directly in Russia. And all of this is pressing on the situation, because at the moment it doesn't look like this situation is going into a more peaceful way. And then there's one more thing to say, due to the Russia-Ukraine situation. So it appears that combat in a city is very difficult, and like this urban combat between buildings, because roads are blocked, bridges are destroyed, and so on. So this is probably why the Russians are having problems, having big struggles to move into Kiev and to conquer the city. And the other point is probably that Putin tries to do a very surgical approach and not mass bombing the cities, which is probably because he would lose all the support within his own country if he would do that, if he would like just mass bomb a city. Anyways, but this is all part of what's pressing onto the prices. And then let's just go to the prices. And first of all, Bitcoin, and we see that prices hold relatively good, but on the other hand, like we have this massive drawdown, which is more related to Fed and rate hikes and inflation and post-plague situation. You know, you cannot use the word on YouTube because the algo will give you problems. But we have this massive drawdown here, and coming back a little bit and then collapsing again, and all of this here is basically Russia, Ukraine. And yeah, if you look at the broader picture, you could also see like something like a head, like a shoulder head, and maybe a little relief rally if something happens here, and another shoulder, and then directly collapsing down. So this is one scenario, and the other scenario is that things are developing positively, and we put in another higher high, and then we have here basically a formation of an uptrend. But at this point, everything is possible, and I wouldn't I wouldn't predict anything at this point anymore, because this just looks like all these things like Head and Shoulders and crackdown is possible. I mean, imagine if Putin goes to the next level and spreads the war more violently throughout this country, or even goes to the next countries, or does something crazy against the countries that are helping Ukraine out right now, then we will probably have a collapse in the whole economy. And then in the end, we have our beloved OMI price action, and here we see the same but only stronger. And here's something that I showed yesterday in a video, but I want to show this to you as well. If we look at the price of Ecomi here, we can see that we have this range here right now. And I've discussed this with another YouTuber today, and who is more into TA, and he's working with all these fibs and I'm not. But basically what we can see here is like we have these both resistance or depending on where you are in the chart, support lines. So we have this one that basically has been, but with the upcoming price, like has retested here on this line and then came up to this point, has retested here basically again, came up to this point again, was rejected, broke through, and retested on this line, tested this line several times, and then broke through it. So this line for me is such a clear support and resistance line that basically shows us that this is something that the OMI price respects since almost the beginning, right? Just let me check the questions or the comments real quick. Palm Russia Convit says, sorry for misspelling that name probably, but he said, new here and thanks for the info. I don't see the war escalating beyond Ukraine. I do hope it gets resolved quickly without more bloodshed. Yeah, so first of all, I also hope that it gets resolved quickly. But on the other hand, I don't know. I hope it will stick within Ukraine, but still, I hope there will be not a big bloodbath in Ukraine, because I don't know, Putin getting furious about not winning in the way he does right now with missiles and airstrikes and some ground forces. So I'm still seeing many possibilities here, and also it's never out of question that any leader of any country could be doing something stupid, right? And Super Duper Hank says, just got here, I'll be listening while working, bro. Hey, I appreciate very much, and I hope that you can still focus on your work when we are talking stuff like that, because especially when we have the chart up, because then you would have to watch. I hope you're doing some Excel sheets and don't have to do any phone calls there. But welcome, Super Duper Hank. Really, really appreciate that you are here. So yeah, let's get back to our chart. So basically, I see this huge line that has been respected all the time. And what I wanted to show here is that it seems like it broke here and the price came back up here and got rejected. So if we would switch to a shorter time frame, we would probably see this better. But I mean, we wicked down somewhere here and we came up. But in my opinion, that this is the wick, this is the chart of Ascendex. But in my opinion, like this wick went to this noisy area here where we had a lot of up and down. So this could be another zone. But in the end, I mean, in the end, if you look at it, this lower line where we also have several touches on, that seems to be reset. Like there's this one, 1, 2, 3. Then we broke down and right above again, retest, another touch here. And then we were out, right? But now we're coming down. In my opinion, that there would be a possibility to come all the way down to this support level again before we go up. So I don't know. How do you feel? How do you guys feel about this? And if you haven't yet, please smash up the like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And yeah, this helps me to get this live stream and the videos out to some more people. But anyways, I believe this is a scenario that could happen. Doesn't mean that it has to happen. Obviously, everything is driven by fundamentals, but I like to check out TA from time to time if we could find anything that implicates. And this big candle wick here selling off right at this big line here implicates to me that there are a lot of sell orders right now, and that we could potentially come down to lower levels again and take out all these stop sells here, or the taken out stop sells, and see these prices like see us coming down to this level again. But I hope the price, if we do that, I hope a lot of you get good entries, and I myself as well. And I think this could be a good thing. Could be a good thing for a lot of people to enter this, and also for the price or the OMI burns from the wallet that we are seeing are increasing right now due to the lower price. We have seen Black Panther was 700 million OMI burn, only Black Panther, and the aftermarket movements on that specific day. So I think if we get a consolidation down here before we move up and we burn through a lot of OMI, that could be very, very beneficial for us as investors. Let's move on to actually looking at this data regarding these wallets, because I think that's the most interesting thing that we have right now with so low prices on OMI and the potential to go lower. And it's a channel of Jason Colon, and if you haven't yet, follow him, because he really puts out very good data, like this one here. So this post is very interesting, and I just want to show you this, or show this to you. We're going to go through it because it's very interesting. So it basically starts in the end of 2021 and goes over the months that we have right now, January and until the end of February. And we see that we have burned in this short time, like from end of December until the end of February, we have burned 10 billion OMI. So if you see the 21 billion, 31 billion. And then you see there's like two comparisons to the real one. It's like, what would an exponential burn look like, the exponential trend, and what would a linear burn look like? And then we have the actual burn, and as we can see here, it even curves like the exponential one, a little bit below that, and follows the exponential line. So right now it seems to be following the exponential curve, and that would get us up until I don't know if it follows here until the summer to 60 billion OMI burn. I think this is the burn per year or something like that. Palm says, welcome Palm. Would you invest today 1 million OMI or 4,300 in a blue chip Veve NFT with a 5-year time horizon? What is your portfolio makeup, Veve versus OMI? Actually, my portfolio Veve versus OMI is around 50-50. So I've always, from the budget that I wanted to invest in this specific project, I've always tried to split up into the Veve collectibles and OMI likewise. But when OMI was really high, I allocated almost everything to the Veve collectibles because I saw more. Excuse me, guys. I saw more potential in it. So. Oh, you cannot even see my face here while I'm speaking. So what I think is, what I would choose from your example, 1 million OMI or 4,300 in a blue chip Veve NFT is very hard, because on both we are in a dip. But probably today I would even choose the OMI, because it's so low. I could even lower my average. So based on my personal portfolio, my average is a little bit higher than the current OMI price. Based on the current situation, I probably go into OMI, because you said it's a 5-year time horizon. So probably more likely OMI. But if I could change it a little bit, I would split it up again and buy both dips. So I would allocate 2,150 to just to both, and then pick up a blue chip for 2000 to around 2000. Maybe I think the Aston Martin Ultra Rare is still available in a lower price segment, so I'd probably get that one and then another thing. But this obviously not advised to anyone. But yeah, that's what I would do. Thanks for the question, Palm. What would you guys do with his question? What would you guys buy? Would you buy more OMI, or would you rather buy blue chip collectibles at this point of time in the dip? So as you can, let's get back to this this graphic here from Jason. And as you can, or as we can see here, basically, right now it looks like the trend wants to follow the exponential trend, and this would be very, very good. We would be burning way more. Like this would be like 20 billion more burns per year than if we would follow a linear trend. And right now it looks like the exponential trend is more realistic, which is basically what we want to see, what we want to expect. And also with these low prices, it is more likely. Cornish Crypto, hey Cornish, welcome back. I remember you from last stream, so glad to have you here again. Haha Lame says OMI 0.004 is a discount on half, and such a snipe entry. Yeah, exactly. And if you see that we have a potential to go lower, I would personally, if I had some budget right now extra, I would probably put a little bit or a chunk of it into OMI right now, just in case, and then watch if we can hit these lower levels that I've shown before. But that's only my personal opinion. Then he has in this data here, we have seen here burn 122. So like end of June. Sorry guys, end of January and to end of February, we see that the burn wallet, or the burn that was happening until then, was like from 25 billion to more than 31 billion. So actually a lot of these burns, 6 billion happened in the last month. That is crazy, because that's showing us where the burns are going right now. But also correlates a little bit to lower prices, as we have seen. So if we look at the OMI price here, we can see that basically, yeah, from this low at January until then, the burn also increased a lot. So this correlates. Cornish says you have been to Truro, 5 miles from me. Yes, exactly. I have been there. They have a cathedral, and I was there on a school for a couple of weeks and living with a family from Truro, and it was awesome. It was awesome. Like, it was really good. Was a beautiful nature also around, with I think cliffs and sea. And it was strange for me because in Germany we don't use school uniforms, but at that school we use school uniforms or something like that. We had a suit that looked like the school uniforms to be able to participate there. So it was awesome, but glad to meet you here. Then we have the development of the reserve wallet in comparison to the burns. So obviously this is like inverted to the burns, and we see this downtrend, and where it at the moment we see we're like deviating a little bit around all of these numbers, but basically that's almost not notable divergence from that line. And this line would actually take us to below 200 billion within this year. So at the first, according to the rates right now. So you can see here the drop of the wallet. Actually, we came below 250 billion here in the reserve wallet. And yeah, if we just continue this without any crazy increases or decreases, we will have burned through more than the half of what the reserve wallet was in the beginning by the end of this year. And that's pretty good in my opinion. Hey Vitimon, what's going on? Vitimon is not losing any streams anymore. Vittima is here every stream. Only reason I signed in late was because I left my wallet at Starbucks and someone was nice enough to reach out to me for me to get it back to me. Nice to know good people are still out there. Yeah, that's actually impressive. And if your money and your stuff was still in it, then you met a very good person. Would be only nicer if you would have put some money in there or something. But glad you got your wallet back. And I mean, there are many more important things in the world than getting into my stream, although you have an impressive streak of showing up at any or at every stream that I'm doing. So that is good to know. So yeah, thank you for making the effort, and glad you got your wallet back. But anyways, this is, I don't know, do you guys feel that if we would plunge to like I think this is 180 billion by the end of this year, that this is too slow of OMI burn? Or would you say that is about right, and I feel okay with the investment at this point? So for me, because I put in a long-term investment, this is fine. And also, if you see that the reserve wallet is going to half of it, or half of the price, or half of the amount that's in there, I feel like that is already when you have to make a strategic decision within Veve to how you would proceed in terms of buybacks, because everyone is always talking and doing the example of how long would you need to get it to zero, but actually this is not the point where buybacks would happen, because you cannot wait until you are at zero in your wallet and then, oh yeah guys, what do you think we are doing now, because the wallet is at zero, so what should we do? No, I think they will, if we get to like burn through 50% of the whole wallet, then that's probably the time where they have to make a strategic decision. Although my personal conspiracy theory is still that they are already doing buybacks at the moment, and that they are just stocking them up on whatever whale wallet that is not known to us, and therefore reducing the circulating supply without anyone knowing. And then when people are going crazy and jumping into Ecomi again, suddenly they will notice that there is a shortage of the CS supply that is not 300 billion but less, and then probably people will figure out that Ecomi was already buying back some billions of OMI just in case at these good prices, because obviously you don't want to wait until 10 cents or something to buy back your OMI. So Cornish says it's a shame OMI doesn't offer liquidity. Mining or staking would make hodling a lot easier to tolerate getting passive income. Yes, but I think you want that this happens in liquidity pools provided by the exchanges that are hopefully about to come in the future, because then there's no risk that Ecomi would be rated as a security or investigated by the SEC because of that, as we have seen this. I think Cardano has been delisted from an exchange because of that, because of the staking. So if you would offer that right as Ecomi, this could be a big problem in terms of financial observation, depending on countries, and that could be very, very harmful to Ecomi. So I think the current program that Ecomi itself offers with benefits within Veve, like with Ecomi staking for Veve raffle, is good. And then you could also see like in 1 or 2 years that some exchanges offer liquidity pools where you can then just stake your OMI in. Vitimon says, the video you did on OMI tokenomics a few weeks ago made me feel very comfortable with this investment. You did mention buybacks as part of the mechanics of how it would eventually propel. Yes, exactly. So and we're only talking about the price driver Veve. So if you see Ecomi right now, you only have Veve as the main price driver on it, but it will in the future not be the only project that uses Ecomi. So for example, Epico Regal will also use Ecomi as an in-game currency for this little smartphone-based game, and therefore have to buy and hold a certain amount of Ecomi to always provide liquidity, which then is in the ecosystem of the app and is not something that is going to re-enter the market over the next time. So you're creating scarcity there, but only from the Veve standpoint, you have to have buybacks at a certain point to refill the reserve wallet, because if the reserve wallet would go to 0 or to a point close to 0, so you cannot act anymore, then your app is dead. Because that either the price of Ecomi has to have or has to be astronomically high, or the reserve wallet cannot work anymore. Because I have explained that before, the logic that is happening here, sorry about that. The logic that is happening here is that one gem is always equal $1. So if one gem always is equal to $1 and you're forging a gem out of OMI, then at 1 cent, one gem consists of 100 OMI, and at $1 OMI, one gem would consist of 1 OMI. So that means even at a price point of $1, a reserve wallet with only 3,000 or 4,000 OMI left in it, or 10 or 20,000 OMI left in it, would not be enough anymore to provide the gem liquidity that you need within the app. So let's say they only have 500 gems, 500 OMI left in the reserve wallet, and the price is $1, just for the sake of math. Then I want to load up 1,000 gems onto the Veve app to buy something. This means that at this price point, that they still would have to move 1,000 OMI from the reserve wallet into the Vault wallet to make it happen. And that is the point where they would have to buy at least 500 OMI on the market to put it in the reserve wallet and then move it in the Vault wallet to get me my 1,000 gems. That would be obviously way too late, and that would also mean that they couldn't provide the gems anymore to anyone else besides me, so they would have to buy back at this point. Yo, we got a donation here. Thank you, Luigi. All the time he's getting me some monies here. So thank you very much for the support. I really appreciate that one, and helps me to do some little things like giveaways from time to time here on the channel, and also just to keep things running if something drops, like my camera or something. I always said any donations that I get, I would reinvest into my channel, into the equipment, into everything, to provide more content here, to support you. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Luigi E. Steffi Bachata. So I see that you already also doing YouTube videos. Great stuff. Thank you very much. Have you seen Pudding Cheeks OMI burned stat sheet? This time last year, we only burned just over 1 billion, 32x. Since this time last year, I think we can reach 100 billion burn by end of year. Yes, I mean, it's always, as I have mentioned right now, it is an equivalent, like it's something that balances each other out. Like if we just count from a perspective of, we have 2 million users now, and we get to 4 million users, that would double our burn only if the price stays the same of Ecomi. If the price also doubles, we would have the same burn right now, but with 4 million users. Yeah, roundabout, not calculating exponential effects that are maybe also playing a role or major role by increasing this. That is, it's more burn than double by double the users. But let's just do the math by doubling the users. And actually, I know that I have, if you let me just get that in here, I have actually made some slides that make that clearer. I think it was the OMI bleeding one, because OMI was looking like it's bleeding hard. So I'm just loading that into StreamYard right now to be able to show you this quickly. And because I think as Vitimon has asked, it's a very important question on how this gets us the benefit. Like, we have to calculate with Veve and see the roadmap for Veve and the development for Veve as the only thing that can propel the price right now, because everything else is what if. It's like a question. Yes, we know Epico Regal will play a role, but it will certainly not impact the price in a sense of that I, as an investor, could say, oh yeah, Epico Regal is coming to the app, so I need to check that out as well, or I need to invest right now. So here we go. So this is the slide that I've mentioned and I've shown before, but since this question came up, so this is the old number, and you see that this video, I made this video, I think not even 2 weeks ago, and now we are already on 31.7 billion or something like that. So this is how the reserve wallet is basically moving from left to Vault to burn wallet. So if you load up gems, you move OMI equivalent to each dollar to 1 gem to the Vault wallet. And if you spend those gems on the store, you are moving the Ecomi from the Vault wallet to the burn wallet. And there it will never leave again. So as you can see here, we have 59 billion Ecomi right now in the Vault wallet. So that's wrapped up in gems right now. So if these gems are spent on the store for drops, they were 100%. All the OMI that is in those gems will go to the burn wallet. If they are purchasing stuff on the market, and here you can see that math example again, 1 gem is $1, 1 gem at 1 cent is 100 OMI, 1 gem at $1 is 1 OMI, okay? So if you would, if you would do a secondary market purchase, you see, all know these fees, you would have, like, let's say you buy the stamp at the point the stamp was 100 gems worth, you buy the stamp, and then you have to pay 2.5% to Veve only, because the stamp is not Marvel. So then this would be a 2.5 gem cash out to Veve, and that is also that the 2.5 times 0.001 or whatever the Ecomi price is, equivalent of OMI, gets moved from the Vault wallet to the burn wallet. So not only the store purchases, but also every cash out to a licensor. So in total, 8.5% of each comic that gets sold on the secondary market also causes this burn. For, let's say it's a 100 gem comic, then 8.5% of this gem fee on any 100 comic purchase will go to the burn wallet as an Ecomi equivalent. Does that make sense? Is that something that is clear to you? If not, we can go into another details, no problem. So yeah, that's staking. So this is what we have right now. So we have staking coming up with the OMI utility program, and it's not in there, but this is the two mechanisms that we have right now. We have store purchase, 100% burn, secondary market purchase, 2.5 or 8.5% burn. Selfie King is saying, is OKX still on Go chain? Is that the reason why no exchanges should have been I think it's not. OKX and Gate.io still have the deposits and the withdrawals suspended, and they are right now still performing the swap on their side. I think to both of them, it's not a big priority. If you look at Gate.io, they have so many coins, so many shit coins, so many listings, so many stuff that they have. I think they don't care, and I don't know if that's really the reason why they want to wait out with other exchanges. I think the reason why they wait, or they don't wait with exchanges, I think the reason why they don't announce exchanges yet is that you have to provide a certain due diligence regarding your token and what security gaps are, how smart contracts work. You have to prove or provide an audit, an ISO audit or something like that for that specific coin, and that can be only done when you have the token ready that you want to list on that exchange. So that is only a couple of weeks ago that they really have the OMI ERC20 token to do an audit, to provide everything, like every data and how it works and how the smart contracts work and so on. Because it does, if they provide that for the Go token and then swap and then go to Huobi or Binance and say, hey, this is how it looks, then they would just, for protocol sakes, probably say, no, this is a GoChain token and this is an Ecomi this is an ERC20 Ecomi token, so it's not the same. You have to provide all the data, all the sheets, all the due diligence for this one. So this is, in my opinion, what is happening. So they have to provide, they have to do all the steps, and then this was only possible to begin after the migration, and now they are basically in line, in queue to get listed. So I think we should see, in my opinion, and I was criticized for putting it so late in the calendar, but in my opinion, we are going to see the exchanges only in 2 to 3 months. That would then correlate with which what I've said in the Ecomi roadmap video, beginning of the new year. But yeah, so I hope we see soon the migration finishing on the exchanges. So basically that is how we get rid of our Ecomi. Now the point or the problem is that we also get an OMI utility program, which then incentivizes staking but also has a burn mechanic. So what could happen here, if a lot of people send OMI to their wallets and start staking it, it technically temporarily reduces the supply, but it also would probably increase the OMI price and therefore lower the burns on the other side. So that it could hinder burns if people start staking like crazy. But obviously it would drive the price up for whoever one wants to take some profit. In the staking tiers, there will be a lot of OMI locked in already. I mean, you see it, $50,000, tier 5 probably. So if you want to finish staking tier fast track, you also get some burn mechanics in, and you get some burn mechanics for interrupting OMI and sending it out again and so on. So there are burn mechanics that are still coming to Ecomi. So the OMI utility program is not there yet. What people tend to forget is that our burns are increasing right now, yet nothing has happened besides some drops. Like, since before Christmas, nothing has happened regarding OMI that could influence the OMI price or the burns. We have not seen OMI utility program coming in, not seen MCP coming, and we have not seen any exchanges, nothing. The only thing that has happened is that they said Immutable X migration is done, and now we're waiting for the last 2 exchanges to perform it. But since then, nothing, nada, zero has happened. So why do we expect OMI to do any price movement? But back to Jason Cologne here, and we have Sam. Sam John says, how much do you think OMI will go to, please? Just wanted your thoughts. In which time frame? Like this year? I think it's unrealistic to assume more than a couple of cents this year, like up to 5 cents, depending if we are in a bull market or bear market. If we would plunge into a bear market right now because of like Russia does something crazy, or the Fed does rate hikes on 0.5 basis points or 50 basis points at each month. But other than that, if we get another bull run, then it is possible to have a couple of cents in the end of the year. I think the real deal is see the development over the year, have lower prices over the year until the burn wallet really, or the burn wallet is really filled, the reserve wallet is plummeting, and then you get exchanges and the banger announcements like Pokemon and stuff like that. And then you get 1 or 2 years after that year, you get the Viviverse, which gets the price up, and then you go into a Bitcoin halving and another bull run. So my long-term prediction, and I'll say this honestly, I think $1 is possible with that time horizon and with what I've shown here right now. If this all happens, like if you get all the exchanges, you power out these big drops, you have the investments of like so many investors, and then you get the Viviverse, and it is a success, and you get the Bitcoin halving and another bull run. I think then $1 is possible. I think then it's possible. But other than that, I would see like a development of over the next 4 years until that, because in 3 years we have the Bitcoin halving, but the bull run is usually the year after, or like starting then, but extending over a year, if we could believe in these cycles. So what I would see is like 1 to 5 cents now, 5 to 10 cents in the following year, and then 50 cents and a dollar or something like that as peak points. I don't know if that satisfies you, but I could imagine that. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I think we will burn at least 150 billion this year, as I don't think we will get all-time high prices this year, unfortunately. Fortunately, depends on our expectations of fast money or holding for higher gains. Yeah, so I think 150 billion is a lot, because I think what happens is if you see that the burns exceed what people assume right now will be burned, and 150 billion would exceed that, then the price of OMI would increase and lower the burns, therefore. But maybe something crazy happens, and this is not the case, what I assume, then I could see that as well. I think we will have in the end of this year something around, yeah, as Jason shows here, like plunging to 180 billion, 150 billion, maybe even, something like that. So that would be 100 billion burn in the maximum. Like from here to 150 billion would be 100 billion burn. I think that's realistic. That could happen. Yo, you're welcome. I'm very grateful that you guys are all here. If you haven't yet, smash the like, helps the algorithm to get my stream out. And I'm very happy that you guys are hanging out with me here, discussing OMI. And it's a lot of fun. So thank you to everyone. Haha, Lame says, lol, 150 billion is the extreme end. I think so too. Because if you would see, as I said before, if you would see the burn ramp up to 150 billion, people would start buying OMI like crazy. They would get the FOMO, and then the burn rate will collapse because of the price. But I don't know. I think it's balancing each other out, like so that. But there will be the point where everyone realizes that this is really happening. Vitimon says, I'm expecting 10 exchanges this year, Pokemon, additional IP, 1 or 2 celebrities talking about Veve, and a price of 15 to 20 cents by December. I mean, if you would really assume 10 exchanges this year and Pokemon on top of that, I don't know if 10 or if 15 cents is even enough, because 10 exchanges would like, we're not talking like shit exchanges that no one knows. We would probably talk, if 10 exchanges listed, we would talk about Coinbase, Binance, here's my hand, Coinbase, Binance, Wobi, KuCoin, what else do we have as big exchanges? Like the top 10, something like that. Yeah, that would be crazy. I mean, if that really happened, that would be crazy. But my experience is the time horizon that you expect first for Veve and Ecomi, you have to put ×2, and then you get at the realistic time horizon. So it's like I think Kvel is calling for $1 end of year, and Viviverse, I don't see that coming because we haven't even seen OMI utility program phase 1, MCP phase 1. We haven't seen anything of that. A lot of drops that are announced that we haven't seen yet. So even if they would announce Pokemon, would take a while. Like, it would take a while. Will OMI ever be burning directly from circulating supply, or is that the reserve supply too? Yes, actually there will be burns from the circulating supply with OMI utility program, because the OMI utility program in this with the staking tiers is built so that the burns, like for example the buyer's fee, if there will be OMI to NFT as for how the OMI utility program is structured right now, and there will be a buyer's fee that has to be paid within OMI from what's in the web wallet of the user. Excuse me. So if you move your OMI from the exchange to your OMI web wallet, to the layer 2, and have it there to stake it and to work with it, then you also have to pay your fees in OMI from that. And as your money is as your OMI is coming from an exchange to that wallet, it burns away from your supply, so technically from the circulating supply. So any transaction according to the staking tiers that you are doing in OMI is then a direct burn from the circulating supply. And if I'm not mistaken, it's 0.5%. 0.05%. Is it 0.05? Yeah, 0.05%. And no, it's 0.5%, 0.5%, and 0.25% from the value of what you're purchasing is the buyer's fee. So if you're purchasing $100 comic, then you will pay a buyer's fee in tier 2 of 50 cents worth of OMI that we would move to the burn wallet from your supply. So there you have it. There you have burn from circulating supply. So that, and I don't know if, so there is another, so as you can see here, there's the fast track burn from your staked OMI. So if you would stake OMI in tier 1 and you want the benefits of tier 1, then you have to do the fast track, and that would burn $250 worth of OMI. And I'm not sure if the OMI utility program is structured like that, that you have to start with tier 1 and stake, get to the end of tier 1 to be able to stake in tier 2. Not sure if this is level based, because they kind of didn't answer it, this question. But if it would be so, then everyone who wants to get fast to tier 5 will just burn through 25% of what they put in there. Let's say you're super rich and you put $1,000 of OMI, you just click finish that staking tier, I'm going to the $5,000 one and get the benefits from that. So just skip that, burn my $250, I want to get more benefits. And then that would also burn directly from your OMI, so directly from circulating supply. And then there's also the breakage fee. So let's say you want to do something else with that OMI. That is a 10% direct burn from that to break your OMI free to be able to take the 90% remaining percent and move them back to an exchange. So let's say you have staked OMI and it just moves crazy in price and you want to sell OMI, then you have to do the breakage fee, and then you can move like 90% back. Yeah, so that's basically it. Here you see it, yeah, 0.5% and 0.25%, depending on which staking tier you have, is the buyer's fee that also burns from circulating supply. Wichmann says, supposedly they had 5 lined up last year. Yeah, and they couldn't obviously do it because they were GoChain and they knew they would do the migration. So probably there's this due diligence stuff that they have to put out there before they can get listed, and they have to do that once, and probably then the exchanges will come in like crazy. Oh, nice. That's going to be huge more burns. Yeah, I hope so. I don't know how many people will really take part in the staking. And you have to consider also that there are more Ecomi, like there are more Veve users than Ecomi wallet holders. So not everyone will probably do that. Not every of the 2 million active accounts, or let's say 1 million active individual people. But maybe this staking is also an incentive for more people that are only on OMI to get that are only on Veve to get into Ecomi, to invest in that and to be able to stake and take the benefits. I've put my OMI money into USDT as we have broken the line of support, so the price going down a lot before hitting another line of support. I still believe in OMI, will buy back on the way back up. So have you sold all your Ecomi or only a part? I saw that as well when we lost support, but I didn't have the courage to do it. I just keep holding and just FOMOing more money in that. So I didn't have the courage to do the trade here. But what you're saying is right. As you can, we have shown that before, but I'm just pulling it up again as Cornish said that. So what he's saying is basically we had some critical levels of support here and here, and we have just sliced through it. Now we have hit our head at this line, and it could be that we are dropping lower. But I mean, nothing is certain, and we all know that TA works sometimes, but not all of the time. So yeah, that's basically that's what we saw. And yes, OMI can come back here, could also consolidate and come up again. We don't know that. I don't do these trades and not anymore. I've never done them because I'm too afraid of the mental stress this would cause me if I would do that. So if I would, like, I mean, imagine I would trade, I would sell here, and then you see these 3 days of green pump up here. I mean, I would be pissed. I would think, oh no, a reversal, right? So I don't know. I'm not too good of a trader for that one. So Demo is saying Cavel 1 USD this year. Lol, that's not happening. I will bet my house on it. Yeah, I mean, you could bet almost everything on that because it's a pretty safe bet that this is not happening. The question is, will these guys be able to, the people that are calling $1 end of year, will they be able to get out there and say, hey, guys, I was wrong. The development is as follows. We will not see the dollar this year, not even the next year, and so on. Will it? Because if we hit the dollar, I promise to you guys, if we hit the dollar, I will make a video saying that I was completely wrong and that we are that I should check my fundamentals and stuff like that. That I'm sorry, I was wrong, stuff like that. So I have no problem with doing that because sometimes I do just some outrageous speculations that could come true, but we don't know if they come true. For example, like that we will get Pokemon. And I've shown some similarities, and I was speculating on if maybe we get an announcement of Pokemon TCG coming to Immutable X and Ecomi. And today is Pokemon Day, and we haven't seen anything close to that. So there, I was wrong with Pokemon Day. We will see across the summer and the end of next year if this is still a possibility, because the fact that they are sunsetting the old Pokemon TCG and that they want to quote unquote use this possibility to establish new underlying technology and make it able to avoid duplicate cards. So in fact, certificate of authenticity and proof of ownership of those cards and stuff like that still makes me believe that the Pokemon company wants to establish TCG and also Pokemon Go on somewhat an NFT solution. And that is the reason why I think that Pokemon will come, and I'm saying this right now, in the risk of that you guys saying I'm crazy, but I think the fact that we have Alcan there increases our chances heavily to be able to see that on the Ecomi combination with Immutable X ecosystem. But so this is my speculation, and also because of the chilies metaphor in the AMAs, I have speculated on maybe sports NFTs with chilies. Not happening, obviously. They use this strange wording of the chilies and spicy and so on. But whenever I do these outrageous speculations, I'm telling you that it's outrageous speculation. So, but I'm also pretty sure that we are not going to see $1 on in the end of this year, because that would be a 200x on Ecomi. But who knows? Who knows? Cornish says, I need therapy. Why? Like, oh, okay, because you sold and you're looking to buy back in. Yeah, I can imagine that this psychological stress is too hard for me. I don't want to do that. I DCA and hodl. That's my strategy, so I don't have to worry about anything. Maybe if we get a big bull run, then yes, I will maybe sell of some investments that I have a couple of percent, just to liquidate some money to buy back in if we get into a bear market. Vitimon says, I've got plenty of DCA orders for 0.00198 all the way up, all the way down to 0.00120. Not selling anything, buy down and take profits when up, but not until December. Okay. Okay, sounds like a good strategy. So that's basically DCA on the way down, and scale in DCA into the coin on the way down, and scale out when you come into the all-time high territories. I can follow that. I think that's good strategy. I think that's good, but not financial advice. Also, where did you, Vitimon, maybe you can respond that or answer to that. Where did you get these price targets from? Do you use some kind of like Fibonacci retracement, or what are you using? Genuine. We need YouTubers to pump the OMI price. Lol, it is going down. Actually, I don't want to, like, I don't want, I mean, I'm super happy if it pumps, but I don't want to pump the OMI price, because I want to have bigger burns. I want to see them put out so many drops and stuff like that, and make my collectibles valuable, and burn through the whole OMI faster than we all expected, to then have the huge price explosion when the squeeze is coming in. That's what I want. But obviously I'm not unhappy if I see higher OMI prices and see how much I already got. But yeah, so it is tanking right now, the OMI price. Let me see. Yeah, it's coming back. I mean, let's see, 4 hour. I mean, so since we have lost the support and this support, I mean, this is pretty nasty here, right? Because you, oh, sorry, you cannot see that. I'm sorry. So this is pretty nasty. I mean, you lost support, you come back, you hit your head, and you do this super huge retracement, right? And then you come all the way up as a relief rally, you hit your head again, and you're drawing down again. So in my opinion, where is the turning point? Like, could it be like this is what I'm suspecting, that we are right now in a bearish trend. I wouldn't say in a OMI bear market, but I would say in a bearish trend. Could it be that, I mean, this is lower lows and lower highs. So this is just going in this direction, right? There's no chance to argue against this. We don't see any signs of a trend reversal, as this is not a higher high, and we hit our head at the overhead resistance that we have discussed in the beginning of the video is so important. And there is nothing, like there's now technically this level of support to form a double bottom. But if we look at the broader scale of this chart, there is almost nothing. We have sliced through this level here. There's almost nothing that indicates from all this price movement that there is a significant support here. So we could drop all the way down to this level. So Demo says, hence why I said 150 billion burns are possible. Yeah, exactly. So it is possible. I don't disagree with that. Vitamin, yes, friend of mine convinced me from a demo he showed me when it lost support. Yeah, a good friend. Ole says same. Hopefully price stays low. Yeah, exactly. So I'm not the only one that thinks that way. Fred says, yo, another sleepless night and cool to see you live. Thank you very much. Where are you from, Fred, again, so that you already have the sleepless night? I'm very happy if I can entertain you here and give you a little bit of information along the way. So make sure that you drop a like if you haven't yet on the stream, and also hit the subscribe button so that this stream gets out, and it's a free way to support me on the journey of getting 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. That would be the dream if I could manage to do that, and if you guys would help me and accompany my journey here. DCA and hodl market is following BTC. Yes, exactly. And BTC is honestly, I don't know what. So you guys are apparently experienced in TA. So what do you make of this? Is this BTC? This is BTC now, what we're looking at. Is this like a big shoulder head? And then like here, if we move like this, do we get a right shoulder here? I mean, this could be a trapping people that think, okay, now we are going to put in a higher high. I mean, even if this is not so, and I know my painting skills are amazing, but even if this is not so low, even if we would rally up here and we don't put in a higher high, we would still have that, right? So shoulder, head, shoulder, and then I don't know. I see that risk, and that's what more or less keeping me on the sidelines here. So yeah, let me just delete. I don't know. There's a shortcut to deleting that stuff, but I don't know. I don't see that. Vitimon is further saying we are still under the radar, also with a lot of folks avoiding OMI when CoinGecko and CoinMarkets is still misreporting coin supply. When exchanges come and those apps get their numbers right, boom. Yeah, exactly. That is true, and it's funny because there are some crypto TA traders out there that are doing top 50 videos, and suddenly OMI appeared in the top 50 because they are calculating market cap based on the Go OMI supply and the ERC OMI supply. And now OMI has, I think, what is it, like 1.5 trillion supply or something like that. So it's something crazy, or a 500 billion circulating supply, which is also wrong. So yeah, I think we can look that up technically, but you just go to CoinGecko and look what they are displaying as a circulating supply. So OMI, I think, is realistically somewhere in the top 100, maybe shortly outside, with a market cap of 1 billion, or not even $1 billion anymore, but they are displaying it completely wrongly with more than 2 billion because of the migration. So maybe this is holding people back. I'm sure of it. Fred says Singapore, crazy rich Asians for me. Okay, well, if you're crazy rich Asian, then congratulations. And I'm just a crazy German. So I'm working on the rich, but I'm just a crazy German, right? So probably in Singapore is like already in the middle of the night until the end of the night. So yeah, I want to visit Singapore, man. I heard that if you spit a bubble gum on the streets in Singapore, you just get arrested or something, fined a huge amount of money, or at least some money that hurts. So it must be a very clean city, and I like that. Yeah, and also seems very, very high tech. So I'm dreaming of traveling a lot. One day, so here's my journey for this channel. One day, I hope I have so many subscribers and so many so good returns from all the investments, like in the Veve collectibles and crypto, that I can do that, and that I can just make the videos from all around the world for you guys, because that I will not stop, even if I made the money. But let me know what other that's something that would interest me a lot of you guys. What other investments besides OMI and Veve collectibles do you have, if you want to disclose that, that you think are like in the same category, same promising as OMI? There are not many, and I'm always interested into finding other projects that are as promising or even more promising than Ecomi. Now that was a funny comment, Pierre. About to be crazy. Yeah. I mean, if you see those OMI prices, I mean, you can only become crazy, right? Thank you, though. Style of Beyond says, seems there are more drops when OMI price is up and less drops when OMI price is down. I disagree, because I disagree because if you look at when this year started, like in the end of, like, the all-time high was in oh, why is this there? So the all-time, it's one of the three. It's not the all-time high. The all-time high is somewhere up there. But one of these three highs were in January, from October, January, and here during October, in all of this phase, there was the Disney drops and Designer Con, right? So somewhere here. And then we didn't have so many drops all on this rally, because this is the mutable rally. And then we had a super huge February with a lot of drops actually in this drawdown. So I don't know if that's true. What do you think? Do you think this is true, guys? I don't know. Bitcoin says, I'm in only two projects, OMI and Cardano. I also hold some Cardano, not much though, but I think it's promising. And if they can get their stuff together, then yeah, we could see a couple of more dollars on Cardano. FTT, I think, is very underrated. FTT. I thought about FTX right now, the exchange, but FTT. So I'm not familiar a lot with FTT, but I will look into it since you recommended it. Atom, Cosmos is good. Yeah, I'm also invested in Atom. Not too much, but I want to put more into that. Cardano and OMI, in my opinion, have similar communities. Might be true. Might be true. AJH says, and welcome, AJ. Thank you for the constant support. Really, really appreciate it. Not selling, but gathering cash for possible lower prices. Yeah, exactly. So I think a lot of people are on hold right now. They don't know what the situation is. And I also, as I've shown before, I first of all, I still see similarities to the Wyckoff pattern with Ecomi, whale accumulation of big players over long term in the trading range. But some people disagree, and that's fine. I have seen some points that don't fit for Wyckoff, but I also see some similarities here. Arcade Collector. Hey, Arcade Collector, what's going on? Good to see you here. We have talked a lot in the comments also already. So thank you for the support all the time. Ethereum name service and POLC. Sold everything else and just bought them to have a short-term pump to have more investment for OMI. Didn't work out as planned. Damn, dude. OMI is the only thing I want. Yeah. So I kind of feel the same. I feel like I want only Ecomi because it's so good. But you have to always remember, even if everything matches up with the business case, there are still black swans that can happen and that could bring the project on its knees. Like imagine the following. Imagine Alfred Kahn gets sick and cannot work anymore. Or imagine Ecomi gets hacked and stuff basically destroyed, like accounts being raided or stuff like that. That could technically happen. And if you are then all in Ecomi, then you got wrecked like 100%. So it's a security measure to diversify. Obviously, we know that Warren Buffett said you cannot diversify against stupidity or against being an idiot. And that's somewhat true because you cannot just buy 40 different things and expect to outperform the market. But some diversification, and we see that also from the actions of Warren Buffett or whatever good investor, is that you don't hold only one project. So in my opinion, so I have so many comments right now. Thank you for that. Also, still, if you haven't, smash up the like, subscribe to my channel to support me here. Not selling. We had that one. Okay. In big into Saitama. Isn't that, what is Saitama actually? Is that a meme coin? Since November, constantly let down by the devs. But okay, they have devs, so it's probably not a meme coin. But all my tokens are locked into liquidity mining, getting $80 a day. So yeah, so basically $80 a day, that's pretty good. $80 a day, that's pretty good. I want to get to those levels also. FTT is FTX token. Okay, so it's FTX. Yeah, that I heard that they are pretty good exchange. The token has some utility, so that sounds like a good one. So for me, my opinion, I have a little bit different investment structure, but my biggest bags are Ecomi. No, number one is actually at the moment VeChain, and then Ecomi, and then I have BTC. Should be more BTC, to be honest, but it's only on third place. And then Chili's with a couple of percent. That I think is a pretty good project. And then Phantom, Cardano, like I don't know the order of those, but those are smaller positions like Cosmos, Phantom, Cardano, Terra, and Cadena. I have some money put into Cadena. I'm still not sure if I want to hold it. Oh, and the Graph and Chainlink are also in those position sizes, but nothing. No, those are nowhere near in the size to OMI and VeChain. But yeah, so that is basically it with this topic. Now let me just get back to the agenda because I'm not sure if we have covered everything. So we have not talked about the Aston Martin thing right now or already. Let's just look it up. Let me know if you have received or if you have gotten or bought one of these car collectibles. But I think there's some interesting points to it. Let me share here Twitter. So as you can see here, it has firing gun animation on the DB5. But where's the, like, here is another video of apparently the animation, driving animation. And I think it's interesting because this is the first car that is from a movie, but also a real car brand. So I was expecting when they announced it that Citroën will take the place of the first brand that puts their car NFT onto Veve. So where is the article of the Aston Martin drop? Here we go. And a lot of people have criticized Veve for the edition sizes and the prices. So they had it like 300 euros or $300, depending on where you are, for 2,500 editions, and then 500 and 1,000 euros for the secret rares, right? But why this? Okay, as we can see here. So I think, so there was even a tweet where they said that this was greedy, and I highly disagree, because putting out only 7 editions with 1,000 euro is not greedy. And if you you should rather call the Black Panther drop greedy, because there's basically 60,000 editions for 50 euros. Like, even if you got the worst mint of the Black Panther common collectible, that would be basically an equivalent of $50 or 50 euros. And that is way more. That would added up to almost 3 million in return in 1 second. So you cannot call that here greedy. I think the plan for or the strategy here was to put out something super exclusive again, like the ticket stubs. And then also, like, you have to imagine there is a marketing strategy of Veve has to align with the marketing strategy of Aston Martin and what Warner Bros wants for the James Bond movie. And I think the biggest driver on these prices and edition sizes is actually the brand Aston Martin, because we cannot forget that this is a luxury car, and probably if you've gotten one of the if you have gotten one of the cars with the 7 editions, you could sell that, cash out, and buy a real Aston Martin for that. That is so funny. I thought about that and thought, how much has this collectible to be on Veve to buy a real Aston Martin? Cornish says Aston Martin is iconic and awesome. Yes, I completely agree with you. I think it's iconic, awesome, and I don't have one. So I need to figure out how I can get one, at least of the static version, because the other ones are way too expensive. But yeah, I think this is way more than only an expensive drop, because this is the first real car collectible of a real brand, and that is probably being decided on its features by a real brand, because the static has some interesting aspect to it. The static doesn't have firearms and stuff from the movie, but is rather just a car. It doesn't even have, if you look at it, the license plate is a normal one, while the license plate of the super rare one is a James Bond 007 one. So this has nothing more than the same model to it, that it is from the movies. And actually, this is very interesting to me. Like, I mean, it's obviously branded as No Time to Die car, but it's basically a real Aston Martin as you could get it, or as you could have gotten it in the time, right? Or do I see that wrong? Is there anything Bondy to it? Anyways, I think that is super interesting, because now this is a new vertical, because we have the DeLorean, which is we have the DeLorean and the other car, the Acto, but these are not real cars. So this actually, the first real vehicle then would be the bike, because it probably also exists in real life. The glider not so much, because the glider is whatever, some Q weapon. So this could be the second vehicle, and the bike could actually have a lot of value because of that. And this could be the first real car collectible already, if you want to see it like that. And always keep in mind, doesn't matter what Veve says, doesn't matter what any of the developers say. In the end, if you think 2 to 3 years fast forward, the community decides what is valuable, what is not valuable, what is an first appearance on all the blockchains and interwebs, like a real NFT appearance. If you can trade your collectibles on OpenSea, on Wax, on, I don't know, maybe not on Wax, but on any exchange, like on Immutable X marketplace, and there will be more and more people getting to those collectibles and trying to get them, they will probably at some point not even know about what David Yu or African or Dan or anyone else said back in the day about if this is a first appearance or not. They will decide that based upon date and time of the minting. They will say lenticular card of Donald Duck is the first appearance of Donald Duck. I would stick to that, even though you don't agree, but I would stick to that. That is the first appearance of Donald Duck. But basically that's it from the agenda, I think. Yeah, so there is a topic, why collecting, but it's such a big topic. I just put it in there in case we would burn and run through all the content here in a second. But since you guys had so many interesting thoughts, I will save that up for a video, because I wanted to get into what's the mind of a collector. And probably all of you that are investing in Veve, you are kind of a collector, but I just want to make a big summary on how collectors think, why people collect stuff, and how what triggers collecting, why do we do that, why is it so valuable, and stuff like that. So just give a full breakdown of the collector's mind, so we know exactly how other people that are not investors but only collectors react to certain things. So that is my goal, but I'm not going to do that today. I'll probably launch the video in the next days. And yeah, so subscribe to the channel and tap the bell to get notified when this video is coming, or any of the other videos. And I'm probably also pumping out some other videos regarding how Immutable X is green and green minting, let's say. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. I'm happy that I had you here. I hope you liked the insights. Don't get too scared or overwhelmed by everything that is happening in Ukraine, Russia at the moment. We are going to observe the situation, and we are going to keep money on the sidelines to take advantage if the prices are coming down. And yeah, with that said, this is the end of the stream. So have yourselves, wherever you are on the world, and I hope you are all in safe places, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night in Singapore or something, or afternoon, and see you in the next live stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, thank you so much for supporting, for liking, subscribing, commenting, and coming back to all the streams means a lot to me. And with that, see you soon.